Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Therefore, here we are doing Ask the Gap Chef, Facebook Live. I'm here to talk today about snacks because everyone wants to know about snacks. So that's what I'll be doing. First, I'd like to say Happy Heart Day to you. Happy heart, happy heart. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Hallmark Day. Sorry. Happy Heart Day. Happy Heart Month. Happy Love Day. If you have not yet read this book, perhaps this could be your Valentine's Day present to yourself. Put your heart in your mouth. Hello, hello. All right. Where we talk Dr. Natasha talks all about heart health. Wonderful, incredible, great book. All right, so again, my name is Monica Corrado. This is Ask the Gap Chef. That would be me, the Gap Chef. I teach certified GAPS practitioners and certified GAPS coaches how to cook for the GAPS diet. I like to call it how to cook GAPS style. I am a holistic nutritionist. I'm a teaching chef. What else? Certified GAPS practitioner, blah, de blah. Go see me on my website, simplybeingwell.com. Lots of information there. I did update my website, so it does have the latest edition, my new edition of my new book, The Complete Cooking Techniques for the GAPS Diet, second edition. I bet that's backwards, sorry. If you'd like to get some money off of that book, you can use the code, all caps, new GAPS 2023. I also want to talk today about OnCon. The GAPS online conference starts in 2 days. We are 2 days away. It's all about GAPS in the real world. We have fabulous speakers. I will be teaching a class on GAPS juices, smoothies, and shakes. Really had fun filming that last week, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Dr. Natasha will kick off every day with teaching, and there'll be wonderful panels about GAPS and pregnancy, GAPS and pets, GAPS and mold exposure, GAPS and electromagnetic frequencies, mitigating EMFs. GAPS and journaling, GAPS and so many things, GAPS and batch cooking, GAPS and saving money sourcing. It's just an incredible conference, third annual. So meet me there. It's GAPS, GAPS, OnCon, ONCON.com. And if you register and use Corrado, that would be me. M as in Monica, Corrado, CORRADO 23. You can get some money off of your tuition that way. I do hope to see you all there. Again, every one of those sessions will be recorded, so you can watch it for months afterwards. If you can't make the time, you're not able to in your schedule, no problem. Also, they have the OnCon and a phenomenal app called Whova, WHOVA, where you get to meet other people that are doing GAPS. You get to ask questions of the presenters. You get to have meetups. You get to do all sorts of things. The app is really incredible. Makes you feel like you really are there in the community, and you can talk to each other. It's a wonderful thing. So, in any case, blah, blah, blah. That's enough of that. Hope to see you Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They also have a special bonus section of my meat stock class, which is included, that you all can also access, which will be totally fun. Okay, what do I have for you today? One more time with feeling. I am not a medical doctor. Nothing I say. Oh dear, I'm hearing can be used in a court of law. No. Nothing I say has been, approved by the FDA. etc., etc. I also do like to say at the beginning of these that it is my intention, it is my greatest intention to accurately represent Dr. Natasha's work. I will consistently send people back to her yellow book, to her blue book, to her red book, to her green book, to find the answers. And I do encourage all of you to do a couple of things. One, check gaps.me, that's Dr. Natasha's website, and go to her FAQs. She has answered hundreds of questions in great detail, and she answers them herself, all for free for you to go and do your research. Also, for any of you that are new to my group, this group, and even for the old timers, not that you're old, but you've been with me a while, I do encourage you to use the search button. Please use the search button at the top of the page for our group to see if anyone has answered your question already. There are a lot of new members coming in. I welcome you. We're happy to have you with us. I really encourage you to see if someone has asked the question already. Number one was jump on gaps.me, FAQs. Number two, use the search button to find out if anyone has asked your question and it's been answered on our page already. And number three, read the book. Please, everyone, read the yellow book or the blue book or both. Read them once, twice, thrice. They have so much information, and they will that knowledge will really help you more easily implement the diet. I could always tell if people have read the book or not by the nature of their question. So, read the book, find a book, get it from the library, etc., etc. Okay, here we go. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining me today. I have my little red earrings on for Valentine's Day. Yay. I hope you all know, I hope you all feel wonderful this Valentine's Day. Know that you are loved and that your children and your spouses and your partners and your parents and your everyone else, anyone that you're doing the GAPS diet for and with, it's a great, great labor of love. Believe me, I totally get it. It's a lot of work. It's revolutionary in our time to find good food, to source clean food, and to learn how to cook it. Speaking of that, just letting everyone know, I am going to do a level 1 Learn to Cook class in Colorado. It will be, I believe it'll be a 5-day class in June. So look for that. I'll get that information out to you. Okay, so hello. Let me say hello to everyone. Ashley, woohoo, you're the first one on. Go, Ashley. Hello, honey. Hello, Tabia. I'm sorry I'm butchering it, but hello and thank you for Happy Valentine's Day. Hello, Brea Lynn. Hello, Yasmin. Hiya. Hello, Tara. Woohoo, going on con. Love that. Okay, hello, Jody. Hello, Laura. Hello, Rosa Maria. Okay, hello, Christy. Good to have you. Hello, everyone. Just so everyone knows, I will be on Tuesdays at 11:30 Mountain Time. Facebook is not allowing me to invite you. So, there you go. Another algorithm. So do just let people know that, yes, I'm on unless there's an emergency. Please, God, let me have no more emergencies in my life on Tuesdays for the rest of the year. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And we will go from there. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Good to have you. Good to have everyone. All right. So for those of you that are new to the Facebook Live, here's how it goes. I will always do a disclaimer in the beginning because I need to let you know that I'm not a medical doctor. Okay, I will also always teach something because I think it's helpful. I hope it's helpful and useful to people that are coming to GAPS to have some things taught, explained, that are confusing to you or confusing about the diet. So I will do that. Sometimes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depends on the subject. And then I will take your questions and answer as many of them as I can during the time we've got. Okay, here we go. I wanted to start today on snacks. I have a lot of people asking about snacks on the page where I put that little thing about tell me where your challenges are. So a lot of people have challenges with snacks. So let's talk about snacks. So I want to start with the understanding that GAPS is a nourishing diet. And that most people that come to GAPS are malnourished. Dr. Natasha says that over and over in everything she's written, every time she speaks. GAPS people who have GAPS issues are malnourished. Why? They are malnourished because they have a leaky gut. That's not a medical term. The medical term is increased intestinal permeability. The increased intestinal permeability means that there are molecules getting into the bloodstream that are not supposed to be there. They are big molecules, and your body will react as emergency when those big molecules get into the bloodstream, specifically proteins. That's where we get protein. We get food allergies, we get sensitivities. Those are reactions to protein molecules that get into the gut that shouldn't be there. All right, so why are GAPS people malnourished? They're malnourished because, number one, they have a leaky gut, which is increased intestinal permeability. Why else are they malnourished? Because their digestive system is not functioning optimally. Why not? Because they're often, most often, very often, majority of people have low stomach acid production, which is why I encourage all of you to do the baking soda burp test, which is in featured posts, to find out how your stomach acid production is. So leaky gut plus low stomach acid plus the area where the digestion happens in your small intestine is not working. It's not able to break down everything other than protein. It's not able to break it down so it can be used. Remembering, stomach acid breaks down protein, animal protein in the stomach, right? You have to have a certain level of stomach acid to start the enzymes to continue digestion in the small intestine. That's why it's so important. So, we don't have the stomach acid, we don't have the digestive enzymes, and our small intestine can't break down the food, meaning digest. Digest is breaking down the food, right? And our gut is so leaky that it's not absorbing the nutrients, even if they were broken down. That's the beginning of why GAPsters are malnourished. Why else are they malnourished? Because of the types of food that we eat. What does that mean? That means, of course, maybe not of course, I'm in the US, okay, the standard American diet, acronym SAD. The standard American diet is SAD. It is high calorie, high carb, high chemical, high dirty fats, high trans fats, high processed, low nutrient. And our crops are sprayed with fungicides, herbicides, glyphosate, all sorts of stuff, which is just really bad for our guts. So GAPsters come to the GAPS diet malnourished for those reasons. One, because their digestive system isn't working for all the reasons I just stated. And two, because the foods that they're putting in their mouth, the foods that they are consuming are not nutrient dense. In fact, they are nutrient deficient. In fact, Sometimes it takes our bodies more nutrients to break them down than what you actually put in your mouth. So you end up with a nutrient deficit. So I bring that to all of you because everyone's looking for snacks. So the first thing I want to say again is to repeat, or I'm repeating the first thing I said, which is that GAPS is a nutrient-dense diet. That means it's full of foods that are high in nutrition. It also means it's full of foods that are cooked in a way that your body can, well, they're prepared in a way that the nutrients are increased, the nutrients are, there are more types of nutrients, etc., and they're more bioavailable to you. So the nutrient amount is higher and they're more able to be used by the body because of the way you make them, meaning you make the meat in meat stock, right? Meaning you make Russian custard with beautiful raw egg yolks. Meaning you make, you ferment your vegetables and you culture the dairy and you do all sorts of things like that. All right, so GAPS is a nutrient-dense diet. People come to GAPS with compromised digestive systems and with years, decades of nutrient deficiency. So, when people ask me about snacks, the first thing I say is, when you come to GAPS, you're going to be hungry a lot because your body's been in nutrient deficit for a long time. And so, eating these foods, your body's going to go, oh my goodness, you're giving me real food. I'm hungry. Give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. Not to mention we've been low fat. That's another whole story for another time. So, the nutrient-dense diet that is the full GAPS diet and the intro diet, depending on what stage you're on, talk about that in a minute, but GAPS itself is full of nutrition. Eggs, the perfect food. Egg yolks, right? Fats, butter, ghee, tallow, lard, organ meats, stocks and soups, and you name it, it's got it. Cultured dairy, cultured cream, nutrient-dense foods. So when you come to GAPS, you're going to be hungry. And so, when people ask for snacks, which many of you have, and I will go into this more, but the first thing I want to say is that if you need snacks, you're not eating enough at your meals. If you need snacks, you're hungry in between, eat more meals. Often, when we come to GAPS, we need to be eating 6 times a day. 6 times a day. That means breakfast, mid-morning, snack meal. Lunch, mid-afternoon, snack meal. Dinner, before bed, snack meal. That means you can have as much stock, as much soup, as much fat, as much blood sugar stabilizers, as much Russian custards, as much eggs, egg yolk. You can eat eating 6 times a day. When you come to GAPS, my suggestion to everyone is that you eat 6 times a day. Okay? Like meals, 6 times a day. So take that as a premise first. Okay, so snacks. If we're eating enough at our meals, and then we make the meals 6 times a day, when we first come to GAPS, we shouldn't need snacks. Okay, so now I just want to leave that there for a moment. Let's just sit there for a moment. Now let's think about what a snack is. Why do we need snacks? So my response to this first is people need snacks because they're hungry in between meals. They're hungry. Therefore, eat more at the meals. Number 2, why else could they be hungry in between meals? They could have blood sugar dysregulation. Therefore, they're hungry. That means they ate and then their blood sugar tanked. Why? Because you didn't have enough fat at that meal to begin with. And again, as I've said before, don't be concerned about amounts. Like, we live in a culture, in a society, in a world that says, don't eat animal fat, number one. It also says, don't eat a lot of it or you're going to have a heart attack, which is why I started with, read this first, okay? But listen to your body. If you're hungry in between meals, you probably didn't have enough fat at the meal, either not enough food or not enough fat with the meal. So how much fat should adults be eating? I don't know, 2 extra tablespoons per meal, 3 extra tablespoons per meal. That's in excess, that's extra, that's additional to what you cooked that in. Okay, that means an extra 2 tablespoons of butter on top of that meal, or in that soup, or in that stew, an extra 2 tablespoons of ghee, an extra 2 tablespoons of lard, or tallow, or creme fraiche. Cultured cream counts as fat. Okay, so if you're hungry in between meals, number 1, make sure you're eating enough at your meals. Number 2, make sure you have enough fat at your meals, which you probably are not. Especially children, folks, let those kids eat as much fat as they want. They need it. They need it for hormones. They need it for brain function. They need it to build their bodies. So let them have as much fat as they want. I often talk about moms leaving sticks of butter out on the table for each child. Here's little Sally Sue's plate of butter. Here's little Harry's plate of butter. Here's little Henry's plate of butter. Here's little, whoever, your plate of butter. Let everybody eat the butter all day long. They've got their own plate. They've got their name on it. They've got a spoon. You could put little butter balls out, whatever you like. Okay, what else? So, if you're hungry between meals, either you're not eating enough at your meal, or you're not eating enough fat at your meal. Fat is what satiates, right? And or you're not having enough fat, which is why your blood sugar, you're having too many carbs, if you will. Full gaps carbs. What are full gaps carbs? Squashes, zucchinis, butternut, acorn squash, etc. Certainly lentils, beans. We have certain beans that are allowed on full gaps. Maybe you're having too much fruit, right? These are all sugars that need fat to modulate. So I just want to give you that kind of as a framework to think about why people are hungry in between meals. That's the first thing. And also to encourage you to carry the blood sugar stabilizer around with you. Right? What's the blood sugar stabilizer? It has gotten a name on all around the web as fat bombs. I don't know who started it, but whoever did. Blood sugar stabilizer is pastured butter that is softened. Raw honey is added. You whip it up together, stir it up, keep it in a jar, and take it with you. You can eat the blood sugar stabilizer between meals, especially if you're moving from a high carb diet to the GAPS diet, which has a lot less of the processed, we don't have any processed carbohydrates, but has a lot less carbohydrates than you may be used to. All right, let's see. What else have we got? Snacks. Why else would we need snacks? Maybe you want to send snacks to school with your children. So that's another thing, which I'm totally for. So what kind of snacks could you do for your children? That's going to depend if they're on full gaps, right? I want you to think this way. Ready? This is an organizing principle. All snacks should be fat plus protein, especially on the GAPS diet. All snacks should be fat plus protein, or fat and protein together, right? If you're going to do a carbohydrate, you must have fat with it. So, I hope that's making sense for people. Somebody could give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. So, on full gaps, what is a fat plus protein snack? Cheese, raw cheese, hard cheese, great snack. Soaked nuts, soaked, sprouted, or fermented, and then dried nuts. Cheese plus nuts. apples plus nut butter that you made yourself. Apples and nut butter, right? Those types of things. So how about if you're on full gaps, how about jerky? Making your own jerky. Wonderful. You can make salmon jerky. You can make beef jerky. Very easy to do. You don't even need a dehydrator. You can use your oven. So, nuts and seeds, yes. Cultured dairy, yogurt. Yogurt with blueberries. There's a snack. If you don't do well on yogurt, make it creme fraiche or cultured cream with blueberries. Great snack. And maybe some crispy nuts on top. Very good. Russian custard. Great snack if you're home. If you're not home, not so great. What else did I say? Jerky. Great snack. So those are some typical things. That's the way I go in terms of snacks. Just want to bring those up. And then we could get into on another one of these. We can talk about certainly nut and seed baking for snacks. But remembering that we're not supposed to have that many nuts or seeds as baked goods, folks. We're not supposed to have them every day. They're supposed to be as treats. All right, that's the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and look at, I hope that was helpful. Trying to get people to reframe. Yeah? And then we'll talk more about snacks in a little bit. Okay. Going down. All right. Let's see who else said hello. La, 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 la. Hello, Phelan. Hello, Dawn from Maryland. Hello, yes. Hello, Sandy. Ha ha. Thank you, Sandy. All right. Here we go. Hello, Umu. Hello, Caroline. Woohoo. All right, here we go. I'm going to look your questions now. Let's see. All right. I'm going to go to snack ones first, and then I'll take it. Oh, no, sometimes I can't get back to you. So let's start from the top. Tabia says, I left my kefir fermenting on the counter for a week. The kefir had a slightly pink layer on top. I threw out the kefir and rinsed the grains in goat milk. They are now in a milk hotel. Excellent. Are the grains still good or should they be thrown out? They should be fine. Very good. So often folks, dairy will develop pink mold. Scoop it off, throw it out. You rinsed your grains. I would go ahead and maybe do one kefir batch, toss that, and then do another one. You did exactly the right thing, folks. Good, good. All right, let's see. Who's next? Yasmin asks, my daughter pokes the corner of her eye and covers her tears. I did every biomedical GAPS diet, homeopathy. What can you... I don't know what that means. Oh, covers her ears. She pokes the corner of her eye and she covers her ears. So... that is, to me, again, this is my best guess of what's happening there. I'm being Sherlock Holmes gap style. So that is sensory dysregulation. Anything that happens to with ears. Again, I believe what Dr. Natasha would say would be lots of detoxification, daily enemas or at least weekly enemas for this child. Get the toxins out, get the brain to start working. I would look at a very strong detox protocol. So what does that mean? That means enemas, that means juicing, that means coconut oil, oil pulling. That means lots of sunshine. I would do a lot of detoxification plus a lot of getting the ferments up. We need to get the toxins down and the ferments up. The other thing, yeah, that's what I would do, Yasmin. That would be my best. And I would do that for, 3 to 6 months. Keep sugar down. That means no fruit, no nuts. Get detox pathways open, do a strong detoxification protocol. And I would also be making sure that lots of detoxification, no sugar. That's how I would start. Do it for commit to 6 months, see how it goes. See how she goes. Make sure that you're getting the probiotics up, up, up. So lots of kefir, lots of yogurt, lots of cultured cream, lots of fermented foods, lots, lots, lots. That's what I would be doing. Christy says, hello, Christy. I'm still trying to wrap my head around doing gaps. Okay. What is a typical breakfast, a typical lunch, and a typical dinner on stage 1? Stage 1, remembering everyone, stage 1, here's your little stage that I hope you all downloaded. Stage 1 is meat stock, meat stock, meat stock. Did I say meat stock? Meat stock plus soups made from meat stock. So stage 1 is only 3 to 5 days. That is all. That is all. Stage 1, 3 to 5 days. Remember, if it's your first time doing gaps, that will be the strongest die-off time, right? So be ready, depending on how long you've had symptoms or how long you've been in dysbiosis, etc. You could have very strong die-off during stage 1. I always suggest that people, if you're coming to stage 1, we don't know what's going to happen if it's your first time. You may be like, yeah, no biggie. Or you may be like on the couch, migraine, headache, and fatigue, where you can't even move a muscle to get up and make a pot of meat stock. So I like to get people prepared by making, I don't know, at least 4 to 6 quarts or more of meat stock with the meat and the vegetables, or meat stock based blended vegetable soups, and have them in the freezer or even in the refrigerator. It's not going to be more than a week. It's going to be 5 days. So in the fridge, so you're ready to go. So typical breakfast, typical lunch, and typical dinner on stage 1 is meat stock. It's soup. It's a bowl of soup, blended vegetable soup with the fat in it and good salt and some probiotic in it. Or it's a hearty soup that you made with the meat stock, and you pulled the meat and you put it in that bowl with the vegetables, with the fat and the good salt and some probiotic in it. And you're doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. Stage 1. Why do I say that? Because you're going to be hungry. So you want to eat meat stock and meat stock made soups, blended vegetable soups with fat, with salt, with probiotic foods, meaning whey in there, or sauerkraut juice or cabbage tonic in each cup. You're going to allow yourself to eat as much of that soup or hearty soup or meat stock that you want at a meal. Like, these are big, like, eat. And then if you're hungry in the middle of the day, middle of the morning, eat again. And then eat lunch. And then eat in the middle of the afternoon. And then eat dinner. Eating, eating, eating. So, you know, this whole thing about 3 meals a day doesn't really apply when you get to intro stage 1. Listen to your body, eat as much as you want, and make sure that you are being very, very spacious with your own response, your own needs that you have during this time in terms of rest. Do not start intro stage 1 going to work every day, folks. Do it at least when you've got a 4-day weekend, or, you know, spring break or summer break or whatever you want to do. So I hope that's helpful, Christy. I have psoriasis. I want to do it more effectively. I guess I need to go first and read the book. Yes, read the book. Everybody, read the book. Read the yellow book. Read the blue book. Read my book, because my book helps to interpret the yellow book, at least, and how to introduce the diet and how to move from stage to stage and what are the stages and what is die-off and how do I manage it, and you name it, it's in there. Okay, Dawn says, 6 meals a day, I can't do that without getting fat, which is not acceptable. But what about constantly raising our insulin levels because of eating? You will not be raising your insulin levels if you are eating enough fat. Remember that fat plus protein equals stable blood sugar. Fat plus protein equals stable blood sugar for everybody. Fat plus protein equals stable blood sugar We have insulin issues when we eat sugar. We have insulin issues when we eat carbohydrates. Fruit, lots of fruit, right? Unless it's fermented. Ferment the fruit, the sugar's gone. So yeah, 6 meals a day without getting fat. So I don't know, Dawn, you'll have to see. Like, everyone has to think about their own body, right? So one more time with feeling. If you're hungry, go for anyone. Again, this may not be Dawn, but maybe others. If you're hungry, what do I do during the day if I'm hungry? I pull out my cultured cream. I get a little, just in order not to double dip, I get a little bowl and I take 2 or 3 big spoonfuls and I eat it. There's my snack. Gets my brain moving, calms any kind of stress down, satiates me, gets me all those fabulous fat-soluble vitamins. Yeah, so remembering that GAPS is really, I'll say it differently. We can tailor GAPS, yeah? So 6 meals a day doesn't have to be putting on weight, right? It depends. How many vegetables can you eat in that meat stock, right? Yeah. So eat what your body needs, eat what you're drawn to, and make sure the food is prepared correctly, good for you, delicious, etc. Okay, Ashley says, here's Ashley. I eat raw cultured flavored herb butter all on its own. Yes. Sometimes with GAPS nuts or GAPS nut seed dehydrated crackers, all homemade. Excellent. There you go. That's a wonderful thing. So raw cultured butter. Make yourself some herb butters. They call them compound butters. Fresh herbs, delicious. You can eat it on its own. You can eat it with nuts. You can eat it with these fabulous nut seed dehydrated crackers. Yes. Again, you have to be able to tolerate nut or seed dehydrated crackers, folks. Those are not for intro. They are for full GAPS, and after you have healed and sealed your gut, and after you know that you can tolerate nuts and seeds with no gastric distress. So, there you go. Good job. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, I need snacks between meals while on travel. Yes, that's another thing. You need to be able to eat while traveling. Yep. So, again, can you find some fabulous or make your own? Ashley, I know about you and your commitment to real food, and you're a foodie. Can you make your own salami? Dr. Natasha does. Can you make your own salami? Salami, amazing. Jerky, amazing. These are wonderful, high protein. The paleo and keto people don't have it wrong in terms of snacks. They do in terms of those crazy mixes of like cassava flour and tapioca starch. That's all garbage, folks. CRAP, which will raise your blood sugar. But in terms of just meat, dairy nuts, those are your... Is Manchego cheese GAPS friendly? Yes. All of the aged cheeses will be GAPS friendly. And again, I did a thing on cheese a while back, but in terms of GAPS, best raw cheese, whether it's goat, sheep, cow, water buffalo, whatever, right? Raw cheese is best. Raw cheese that has been aged a long time. So how do we know? How do we know if it's been aged a long time? Cheese, if it's hard cheese, it's been aged a long time. The harder the cheese, usually the longer the age. And that's going to be good for you. Yes. Caroline says, is blue cheese, mayonnaise, cultured cream with carrot sticks okay? Yes, let's do it. Are you making your own mayo? I hope so. Delicious, fabulous. Make as many fabulous cheese dips as you want. If you can eat raw vegetables, I love raw vegetables as snacks, as long as you eat it with either cheese or some kind of cultured dairy or a piece of salami. Your own. Okay, so yes, blue cheese, specifically Roquefort, and mayonnaise with cultured cream. You can make all sorts of fabulous things for snacks. Can we have GAPS nuts butter every day? Yes, you can, if you can tolerate it. Ashley, I'm talking mostly about the people who are making nut nut or seed baked goods, who are like eating muffins and cupcakes and cakes and those types of things every day, not the best. If you're eating nut butter or whole nuts because you're on full gaps, nuts and seeds that have been soaked, sprouted, fermented, yes, it's fine to have those every day. Again, just think about process. The more processed something is, let's put it a different way. The less processed something is, the better it is for you. Okay. Isabel, hello Isabel. Would jerky be okay if you are on extended stage 2 for over a year? Our issues are mainly yeast. Yes. So extended stage 2. Did we talk about extended stage 2 on here? I don't think we did. Maybe we should. We'll do that next week. Maybe we'll talk about what the heck is extended stage 2. All right, so yes, if you're sitting on stage 2, which is mostly meat stock, meats, all the cultured dairy you can eat, all the ferments you can eat, all the eggs you can eat, all the fat you can eat, all the stews, all the casseroles you can eat. If you have good gut, I would try it, Isabel, and make sure that you don't have any gut responses. If you're fine, go for it. Fatima says, lots of kefir for that child, Yasmin. Yes, for sure. Fatima, hello. Do you have any recommendation for a good water filter, preferably for the entire home? I do, Isabel. I think water filter for the home. Radiant Life, I would get to Radiant Life online. I would also get to, even better, Tom Cowan has, I'm thinking of Adriana right now who has told me what this is. I don't remember the name of it. There's another really, really good one that I will figure out. Let's figure that out. We're figuring out whole house. What you want, folks, when you look for a whole house filter is you want them to take out all the bad stuff and then put back in the good stuff. You have to make sure it remineralizes, right? We have to make sure that the water remineralizes. So look for that when you're looking. Those are the things you're looking for. Iklas, hello. All right. Caroline says, we have been on full gaps for a year now after 5 months on intro and have had incredible healing. Yay! Rock and roll. I'm curious if Chev is something we could try soon. Yes, it is. So Chev is a soft goat cheese, people. So you just want to watch, again, remembering hard cheeses are going to be best. Why? Because they've done the most culturing. They're going to have the least amount of casein. They're going to have the least amount of lactose, right? So when you move to Chev, Chev is soft goat cheese. So now we're looking at, might have an issue with casein there. So you could try it and just go ahead. Here's what I would suggest, Caroline. If you haven't done it already, I would make goat yogurt. I would culture goat milk, make goat yogurt, and then strain out the whey, and then make that into like a soft goat cheese and see how that goes first. Okay? All right. Is there a way to make it GAPS approved? So the way to make it GAPS approved, Chev, again, it has to do with how long the cheese was cultured. It needs to be no lactose and low casein. So Chev is going to be high casein. That's why I'm suggesting you try this instead, if that makes sense. Is store-bought Chev allowed at any point? I don't know. I, again, would do this thing of how could you introduce cheese to see how you're doing. Start with the hard cheeses like Parmigiano Reggiano, Pecorino Romano, sharp cheddar that's been aged, 12 months, 8 months, long time. Manchego's been aged long. Go for the very, very hard cheeses. Start introducing those and see how it goes. After a couple of months of that, maybe 3 to 4 to 5, 6 months of that, trying different cheeses, making sure you don't get symptomatic, making sure you're not getting constipated, because cheese will do that. Then start introducing some of the softer cheeses. Slowly, remembering that cheese is usually introduced by one mouthful that you chew, 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 swallow, wait, 2 to 5 days, see if you have any response, then try it again, 1 mouthful. That's how I would do it. Struggling to be satisfied, Dawn says. Obviously, this is caused by gastritis, so just trying to figure out how much protein and fat. So again, Dawn, satisfaction for people is about fat, satiated. You need to be satiated. So cultured cream is your friend. Cultured cream is your friend. Kefir cream. Cream that's cultured with yogurt culture. Those are things that are going to help you feel satisfied. Right? Again, the other thing is, one more thing, folks, about being satisfied. We don't talk about this much, but Dr. Natasha has something. She talks about the mealtime ritual, which means before you start eating, you take a moment to do 3 deep breaths to actually put yourself into parasympathetic state. But also, how many of us are actually chewing our food? Even chewing our stock. Even chewing our GAPS shakes. Chew, chew, chew. Not sure, Dawn, if you're doing GAPS shakes anymore. I can't recall, but that could be a way in between. GAPS shakes are great snacks in between meals. If you're home. Or if you can put it in thermos. Take it with you. Sip on it. Really good way to get minerals, good vitamins, minerals, and good fats and protein into you all at one time. GAPS shakes. You're welcome. Homemade mayo. Yes. Hey, Karen. Good to have you. Hey, Dill. Karen is here. Haven't seen you for a while. Okay. Experimenting with GAPS shakes for constipation. Excellent. Yes. You know, Karen, I'm teaching this on the OnCon this weekend, but I'll tell you now. So, empty stomach is defined as 20 to 25 minutes prior to a meal or 2 to 2.5 hours after a meal. That is how Dr. Natasha defines empty stomach. So there you go. How long after the shake can you eat? We were talking about before. 20, 25 minutes after a meal. I don't know. I might wait an hour or so. I'm happy. Please, Karen and everyone else, if you're doing a GAPS shake, remember, you need to use raw eggs. They need to be whole eggs unless you have anaphylaxis to the white. And they also need to be cultured cream. Have to have the protein plus the fat in with those carbs. GAPS shake. Please use the recipe on page 80 of the blue book. That is the GAPS shake recipe. All right. What are your thoughts? Fatima asks, thoughts of making? Yes, absolutely. She wants to know, Fatima, can I make kefir out of camel milk? Yes. So I did a little thing about dairy and about kefir a while back on Facebook Live here in this forum. Yes, you can make kefir from any milk you can get, any mammal milk you can get, right? So cow, goat, sheep, water buffalo, camel, you name it. If it's a mammal, you can make kefir out of it. Go for it. Yes. Hello, Dill. Okay, Yasmin says. Dawn says, yep, love cultured cream. Only can do yogurt cream, but delicious. Thank you. I will get back to the GAPS. Yay! I can't wait to see you at OnCon, Dawn. Excellent. You know, once you buy your tickets, folks, you can get on, you register for OnCon. You can be on that app, talking to people, checking out sessions, talking to all sorts. There's all sorts of things. The OnCon really started 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. As soon as you register, you can start talking to people, meeting people, getting resources, all sorts of things. Okay, just wanted to put that out there. Yasmin says, it's hard to source hard cheese, raw organic cheese. Can you give pasteurized cheese from the supermarket to children on stage 4 GAPS? There is no cheese on stage 4 GAPS, everybody. There's no cheese on intro. So, intro diet, get on the full GAPS diet, and then do cheese. You can do yogurt. You can do cultured cream. You can do kefir cream. You can do butter. You can do ghee, la la la, all those things on intro diet. I would not be doing cheese on stage 4. Next, can you do supermarket cheese? So again, good, better, best. What would be the best? Raw, cultured cheese. Raw organic cheese. If you can't find that, then just organic cheese. Cheese from organic milk. Very important, folks. Or cheese from Europe. Remembering that across the pond, they do not do the types of things we do in the U.S. To our dairy. We don't have the same types of horrible things happening to the dairy. So you could do European cheese that's not organic, but pasteurized. Or you could do U.S. cheese that is organic and pasteurized. That's how I would do it. Okay. Fatima says, what does it mean when a child starts having kefir? They start showing behaviors, like randomly running off when watching TV. Die off! Die off. That's all. So back it up a little bit, Fatima. Just back it up a little bit, meaning give less. You could stop for a couple of days and see if the behaviors go away. That will give you a clue. You could also back up and give less for a couple of days and just slowly introduce. They're just having die-off, which is fine. As long as you can tolerate the crazy behaviors, I suppose, right? So those are your options. Not a problem. Yes, that can happen for sure, even with adults. All right. We have time for one more question. Anybody got one? I'm going to have some water with my fabulous aqua dot. Got to stay hydrated, people. Drinking my structured water. Okay. Anybody else have another question? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Not. What else can I tell you? That would be cool to know. I don't know. Again, hope to see you all at OnCon. I am speaking. I have a bonus session, and I will be on the app talking to people between now and Thursday. So, I can take one more question, or we can go ahead and close. It's been a busy day already. Oh, love your new book, Can't Stop Reading. Oh, thank you, Fatima. Thank you so much. Any studies on the importance of natural salt consumption? Hi, Gina. I have a whole lot about salt in my book, and the importance of the importance of salt in the book. Do take a look at that, remembering that natural salt is high in minerals, and all of us are depleted in minerals, unless you live by the ocean, which most people don't. So the role of salt is minerals for the body, and gapsters really need salt. I've also told a story before. I'll do two things. One, when we are malnourished, we are depleted in minerals, and the vast majority of table salt has no minerals in it at all. So we really need to be having mineral salt, high mineral salt. All of us do. I've also told a story that I really encourage moms that have children. I encourage all of you to get at least 3 different types of salt: high mineral salt, Baja Gold, Selena Naturally, Celtic salt. What else? Maybe Redmond's Real Salt. And to have them available to everyone. I like for people, first of all, have at least 3 salts in your house. Mix it up. Use different ones when you're cooking. Use different ones when you're serving. And if you have children, give them their own bowl of salt. A little bowl, little tiny bowl that they can have all day long. They can go like this, lick their finger, put it in the salt, eat the salt. That will really help children with mineral deficiencies. Okay. Oh, you have clients who want to see studies. I would jump on PubMed and just start looking around, see what's out there, Gina. I don't know that I have I don't know that I have a study to point you to right now, but I know that there are studies that say that mineral loss, right? Like conventional vegetables are very low in minerals, and so we have to supplement with minerals. All right. So let's see. La, 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 la. Dana, hey Dana, good to have you. If you tried introducing dairy to your child several times and failed every time, would you just give up and accept defeat? Never. I never accept defeat on anything, sorry. Here's what Dr. Natasha says. If you cannot introduce ghee, if ghee is not introducible, then probably the person will never be able to have dairy. So if that's what's happened for you, then maybe give up for dairy for maybe another 3 to 6 months and try again. And again, I like to encourage people to start with just a little bit. So a drop of whey in 8 ounces of water and a drop of that. So again, we always use the tool of backing up. They can't tolerate a teaspoon. Okay, but can they tolerate 1/8 of a teaspoon? Can they tolerate a drop in water and a drop of that? So those types of things. I'm not a big accept defeat person. I think, again, that we should look at, with dairy being so complex, right? Meaning, have you tried cow and sheep and goat and camel? Have you tried all raw? Have you done all of it homemade? Have you then, backed up the way I've been talking about? So there's several layers to the dairy question for all of us. And I just want to make sure, I don't think you are, Dana, because I know what you're doing over there, or some of what you're doing. And I certainly wouldn't give up without really trying all the avenues. That's me. Because why? Because dairy is a very important part of nutrition for humans. Calcium alone, you cannot beat the calcium, the bioavailable calcium in cultured raw dairy with anything else on the planet. Not oysters, calcium, not bone meal, not, kale, God help us, or any of that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't accept defeat. But again, I don't know your whole story. Hello, Hamda. Hello, Monica. What do you think of the zero water filter? I don't know it, so I'll have to look it up. Zero water filter. I don't know it. All right. Yasmin says, thank you so much for your advice. Last week you helped me help my son's behavior and pointed out that he needed more minerals and more stock. Yes, it's working. Thanks a bunch. You are very, very welcome. My joy. You're welcome, Gina. Okay. I've tried raw goat, as her homeopath says she's okay to have it. I try every couple months and she flares terribly. Behavior goes over the top. Thank you. I'm sorry. We have a gal on this group, she's not on the call right now, who has worked through several, maybe 7, 6, 7, 8 anaphylactic allergies on GAPS, with GAPS. And I believe dairy was one of them. I may be wrong, but she always just pushes through. I'm not saying push through anaphylaxis. Don't misunderstand me. Those were other, she did those trials, in a hospital with an allergist, whatever. What I'm saying is that if your child does not have an anaphylactic reaction to dairy, then go ahead and push through, or not. You have to decide whether the behavior and the flare is more than you want to deal with right now, which is fine. You're the parent. You get to decide. All right, everyone. I got to bolt. I've got at least a couple more things to do this afternoon. Blessings to all of you. Love, love, love. Love your heart by putting your heart in your mouth. Love, love, love. Blessings to everyone. I hope to see you on the OnCon this weekend. And I will certainly see you next week on Tuesday. Same GAPS time, same GAPS channel, 11:30 on Tuesday, 11:30 Mountain Time on Tuesday. And I just wish you all the best. Take good care of yourselves. Spread the love. Okay, bye now. Bye, everyone. You're welcome. Bye.